Skin cancer survivors and medical doctors have convinced the Idaho Health and Welfare Committee to get behind a bill that makes teen use of tanning beds a crime. Sasha Zimmerman has both sides of that debate.
That's right, Todd. You know, these things have caused a lot of controversy over the last few years. Some say they're dangerous and deadly, while others say they're good and have helped resolve medical issues. Some lawmakers in Idaho are ready to pass a bill that would prohibit anyone under the age of 18 from using a tanning bed. Representative Janice McGeehan says although her committee made a unanimous decision to send the bill to the House, she's still not decided which way she will vote.
If I look at it from purely a health perspective, then I totally support the concept for banning the use of beds for minors. But that's looking at it from a purely health perspective. I have to weigh that against the other consideration of to what level of government intervention do we need to have in our society.
Tanning salons in the area argue that children will be less protected if the bill were to become law.
You have these young kids, you know, these 12 and 13-year-old kids that are getting ready to go to Cancun with their parents. They're in trouble. They're in trouble because their skin has had no base. They haven't seen the sun since August.
These teenagers are not going to stop tanning. It's not going to happen. I don't care how many times the government says they cannot. They still will, not indoors, but they'll go outside. They'll go outside just like we used to do, where it's not a controlled environment, and if they don't tan, they're going to end up going with their parents on these vacations to Hawaii and Mexico and wherever they go, and they're going to get burned. That people should be aware of exposing themselves to the dangerous rays of, whether it comes from a bed or from the sun. I take the same view, that we should be protecting ourselves from those dangerous rays.
I asked these salon owners what they would like to see happen.
What I would like to see, rather than the banning of these kids coming into town, these teenagers, is let's get some regulation going in the state of Idaho to regulate who can have a tanning bed in their business. Let's make sure that it's a licensed indoor tanning salon with certified people behind the counter putting these teenagers into tan.
McGeehan says that although she agrees the bill wasn't written perfectly and could use some changes, the only thing to act on right now is whether or not to make it illegal. The changes to the bill will soon be followed.
And none of us have had the opportunity to fully weigh in on, to take a position on the bill yet, but we will probably next week. I think we're going to do the changes on the floor either today or tomorrow, and then it'll come back to the House probably sometime next week for a full vote by the House.
And most importantly,
I just want to encourage people who have a position either way on this issue to let me know. Especially, I was curious to know how members of my local Chamber of Commerce committee felt on the issue, and there was some, I would say, the majority of the sentiment from my local chamber committee was in opposition to the bill on the matter of the government intervention. So I think it's really important that when people have strong positions on these types of things that come to us for a vote, we need to hear from our constituents.
If this becomes law, those under the age of 18 would still be able to come to tanning salons and get a spray tan. Todd, back to you.
All right, Sasha, thank you. Other states such as Utah and Washington and West Virginia are also considering similar bills this year.